let's talk about Montravius Adams. Resigns, 28 years old. He resigns for a 2-year deal. I mean, you're a big Montravius Adams fan. I'm a big Montravius Adams fan. Comes in here to be Keanu Benton's backup, but obviously has been a key contributor for the Pittsburgh Steelers over the last 2 seasons. Your thoughts there? Does it, in your mind, end the defensive line additions for the Steelers, or do they keep going and you see more coming for this team?
Yeah, you're right. I am a big Montravius Adams fan. I was really happy when I saw that they re-signed him. It was one of the guys I think at the beginning of the offseason that we were like, this is the free agent. Should be one of the first guys that you turn to. He did kind of deal with some injuries last year. Wasn't always around, but I think he's really productive when he is on the field. He is a starter caliber guy. And when you've got Keanu Benton in the mix too, that just makes this D-line a lot deeper. He's, he's closer to that kind of, not necessarily a nose tackle, but he plays the interior of the defensive line. They needed some depth there. And I don't know, Keanu Benton makes Montravius Adams kind of a luxury, quite honestly. He is, like I said, a guy who's going to back up, but a guy who's capable of being a starter. Like, he would be a starter on a bunch of different teams in the NFL. So I think that you were able to get him back in that kind of role is pretty remarkable. Like we were just talking about with Omar Khan. I don't think this ends, their hunt for more defensive linemen. I think you still need to add some depth there. I know they've, I think there's still some options out there, but I don't think they're going to. I also don't think this is a position that they're going to wait till the NFL draft to help fill. Like, I think you need some veterans there. I think they're going to try to address this need in free agency. But I think you definitely need some more bodies there at least. I just don't think you can walk in with 30. How old is Cam Hayward?
35, 34.
35. Yeah.
He's old.
Yeah, 35-year-old Cameron Hayward, a rookie, and Montravius Adams. Like, you need a little bit more there. And then you're looking at, like Isaiah Loudermilk after that, which I like Isaiah Loudermilk. If he's your fourth defensive tackle, I'm a little bit worried there. So
yes.
I think you need maybe one more piece, I think, on the defensive line, and then I'm feeling comfortable. But this was a big piece. This was a big domino to fall, and I think a really good move for the Steelers. They also locked him up for multiple years.
2 years.
Yeah, and Adams is not old yet. He is
28 years old. Just turned 28
like,
too, I think.
Right. So, this is not it's not like you were getting a guy who's in decline. I think this is a guy who still kind of is in his prime.
Yep, I agree. I think this is a huge move. It allows Keanu Benton to move to either side, which I think is key because the Pittsburgh Steelers cannot tie themselves down with Keanu Benton playing nose tackle. Allow him to play both like actual defensive tackle roles, three technique. I think that is, massive. Adams is a good pass rusher. He's a big body. He actually played good run defense last season when he was available. I get it, he's dealing with some injuries, but I think that Adams is a good player. And I think to lock him down for 2 years is significant. I think he's a good depth piece. He's your Tyson Alualu in a different form, obviously, but he's your reliable veteran backup that you will keep here because he is pretty much just part of the team. The Steelers always need that. Being able to move Keanu Benton around is massive. I agree with you. You have to sign somebody else. I still think it's crazy that the Steelers are going into the season with Larry Ogunjobi as their starting defensive end. I think that is wild, but that's what they're going to do because they've missed out on all the big guys, and they just got to find somebody else behind him because DeMarvin Leal, I have no faith in. I think that project's over. I think that we're going to see the decline of that.
Yeah, if he was going to be someone, I think we would have seen that by now.
Yeah, I just don't think that's going to happen, not in Pittsburgh. And Isaiah Loudermilk, cool. I think he's good for what he does, but I don't think I think he's good for what he does, but you need somebody else. He can't be your only one. You lost Armon Watts. You got to add somebody else. I think they do add somebody else. Where, I don't know, because free agency's getting thin. And they'll pull somebody out, just like the Deshaun Elliott move. And I'm just, you're going to look at it and go, I don't know who that is. But then you're going to be like, oh, okay, that was all right. I think that'll happen.
Yeah. And I don't think I love that they kind of got backed into a corner and have to keep Larry Ogunjobi.
Yes.
Like a fine player, but that was a guy that we thought, I think we both thought this, that he would end up getting cut. Like he would be a cap casualty at some point this offseason. At least I did. So yes. I don't know. It's not totally ideal, but at this point you can't release Larry Ogunjobi now. Like you don't
No.
have the the
No,
space to do that, and you have bigger needs than
Yeah.
having to worry about finding 2 defensive tackles.
Yeah, you can't just dive into that and say, oh, all right, well, we have Cam Hayward who's 35, and that's good enough. We have Keanu Benton, so no, you need another option. I don't think they're going to have that other option, so it's where they are. But I think it's a good move, and I think that shores up a part of their line that needed to be shored up.